Okay, let's say welcome to Camp Zikula 2009, the 6th in sequence, I guess. After being in last year number 5, now number 6. Again near Osnabrück, like 2007. I hope you will enjoy your stay here. We will have a lot of fun, like we had last evening already. So let's simply start. The agenda is known. We can also start with the agenda. Might be an idea. Just to show you a short overview. So, this is quite easy. We start with the welcome, like we do right now, showing you the agenda for today and tomorrow. Then we have some slot news from the core by Axel and myself. Then we will see a short movie. I hope it is a short movie made by Drag, who implemented the new GetText system in 1.2.0 and 2.0.0. He prepared a movie and he will be available via Skype to answer questions if necessary. Then Eric will tell us about the value add-ons modules so far. And then it's going to be lunchtime. After lunch, Arjen will inform us about continuous integration, unit tests, server-side unit tests, and so on. Guess that's it. And then we have some commercial topics, presentation of Zikula Pro. In this case, Igor should be here, at least we hope so. He did not arrive yet. And then multi-Zikula systems presented by Albert. A system that is running quite well, I guess, and he will explain it to us. And after that, we have some lightning talks. Everyone can bring up his ideas. I heard yesterday there is some interesting news from Austria we will like to hear. And evening event starting at 6:30. We will be in the zoological garden in Osnabrück today. Have a small barbecue, not with the animals from the zoo, but we will have also a short round, a walk through the zoo with some guide who will explain us something. So it's a nice way to close this day, let's say. Then tomorrow, unconference continuing, and then a point marketing, learning from cooperation with Fedora. This is something Simon has prepared. He sent us a short presentation about the Fedora Docs project I want to show you. Not sure if he will be available by Skype for answering questions, but Arjen is also involved in that. Maybe he can tell us some details about it. And then we have the annual general meeting of the Zikula e.V., or still Postnuke e.V. as it is, unfortunately. So 1 hour, roughly 1 hour we need for this, and the guys not being in the e.V. can continue in the unconference. It's not a big problem. So that we can finally end with the lunch and then close for tomorrow. So that's it. If there are any changes, we can do it, of course, no problem. This is concrete, so we can change everything here, what is needed. So let's start with the main presentation. We want to show you, to give you some background information about the last year and the time that is going to come right now. We start with what has happened. A short overview. On December, we had a cross-release from Zikula 1.03 and 1.10, the last bug fix release of the 1.0 series, and the first feature release with new additional features. Then at the beginning of this year, we have new official Zikula site themes rolled out to all sites, including Code Zikula and some of the local websites as well. The extension database also started on the same date. This was connected because we needed the new themes and layouts for the extension database to work. Then we had a 1.1.1 release on beginning of February. This was mainly for bug fixing, or only for bug fixing, of course. Plus we had a migration distribution from 7.6.4 maintained by Arjen, containing all the modules you need to migrate from a 7.6.4 to a running Zikula site. This also includes a lot of modules that are not part of the core, of course. Then in March, GSOC 2009, we got the news that we are not part of the GSOC this year. Unfortunately, Google has to cut down their expenses, as it seems, so they didn't have so many projects funded this year. Zikula was not the lucky one. Then beginning of July, end of life of PostNuke. No support for PostNuke anymore. And then on 18th of July, we had the 1.1.2 release, bug fix release again for this series. What is not mentioned here, we had a bad news in May. We learned that Thomas Smiatek died in May, very surprisingly for all of us. So this was not so easy. Hard to say anything else. So, but back to the core. About 1.0.3, we had this has been released 4 months after the last bug fix release. As I said before, the last bug fix release for the 1.0 series, aimed for stability. Of course, we fixed a lot of bugs. You can see this in the number of tickets that have been closed, 143. I think this is quite impressive for a bug fix release in 4 months, maintained by just a couple of guys. So this is one big step ahead to a more stable system. Then, together with 1.0.3, we had additional 83 tickets closed for 1.1.0. We have several new features added to this one. For example, system init hooks. You can execute code during the system startup. Scribite, for example, makes use of this. We have feed support now in the core, not in the feeds module. We have some nice feature we call capability fields. We have the possibility to say you can change your profile or your message module if you want, as long as it supports several basic functions. These have to be defined, and you can select the module or not if you want to use it or not. Comprehensive enhancement for feeds, pages, and out LDAP also have been implemented. Then value add-on module changes. We have some mergings, users, mail users, member list put together. Then profile, banners, hit counts, stats, and top lists that are not really part of the core have been moved to several projects. Stats, for example, has its own project right now, I guess, and profile and the other stuff is in the parked project maintained by us. And we removed AvantGo and Wiki because no one ever uses it at all, so why should we maintain it? A Wiki is not really a Wiki module, it just supports Wiki syntax in news, for example. So this is not really necessary. We have BB code or whatever. If you want to embed something, you can use media attached to embed images, so Wiki is not really needed here. So we threw it away.